Elon Musk is looking back at his relationship with ex-Amber Heard. The Tesla CEO reflected on his on-and-off romance with Aquaman star in his eponymous new biography from Walter Isaacson, reportedly calling their time together, quote, brutal. According to E! News, the book states that the two first met in 2013, but their romance didn't start until 4 years later, after Amber filed for divorce from Johnny Depp. While they were together, the biography claims that several members of Elon's family were reportedly against the relationship, including his brother Kimbal Musk. According to E! News, in the book, Kimbal claimed Amber was, quote, toxic and a nightmare, adding that Elon falls in love with people who are, quote, beautiful, no question, but they have a very dark side. When the billionaire was told this, he reportedly told the biographer, quote, I'm just a fool for love. I'm often a fool, but especially for love. Amber and Elon called it quits in 2017, and the SpaceX founder told Walter he allegedly endured, quote, 18 months of unrelenting insanity that was mind-bogglingly painful. But despite all of that, there appears to be no bad blood between the two. Amber reportedly told Walter in the biography, quote, I love him very much. Elon loves fire and sometimes it burns him. And Elon sent her some loving words back in an Instagram post from 2017, writing, quote, although Amber and I did break up, we are still friends, remain close, and love one another. Access Hollywood has reached out to Amber and Elon's teams for comment. Amber dated Elon following her public split from Johnny Depp. The two faced off in a civil lawsuit last year when the Pirates of the Caribbean star sued her for defamation. Since the trial wrapped up more than a year ago, Netflix has made a documentary about the case titled Depp v. Heard. Johnny's lawyer in the trial, Vasquez, exclusively gave Access Hollywood her take on the docuseries and the social media impact of last year's high-profile trial.
We had no idea that there was this media social storm brewing outside.
Can you please tell the jury why you're here today?
Ms. Heard accused me of abuse.
My ex-husband is suing me.
Brutal, cruel.
This is humiliating for any human being to go through.
And all false.
Camille, Depp versus Heard, what was it like for you to go back and relive that trial via the docuseries?
It was fascinating. I mean, just to see the way that Emma put together that docuseries, I found it really interesting. She utilized the court testimony in a way that told a really compelling, truthful account of what took place inside those four walls in Virginia.
And you know, there was what was taking place within those four walls, and then there was the world outside. There was the social media firestorm. What was it like for you really being at the center of that?
You know, it's interesting, and that's a great question, because while we were there inside doing our jobs, we didn't really understand the impact this case was having on social media all over the world.
Yeah.
You know, towards the end, we started getting messages or people sending us things, but really, for the most part, we had no idea that there was this media social storm brewing outside.
I don't think I've seen anybody do a better job. So go Camille Vasquez.
So you were unaware that there were essentially millions of people talking about you every day online.
We really were unaware, and it was, I'm grateful that we weren't aware at the time, because we did have a job to do, and we were so incredibly busy during that time that we didn't have the time to focus on what was happening outside of our war rooms and that courtroom.
It was an act of profound cruelty, not just to Mr. Depp, but to true survivors of domestic abuse. For Ms. Heard to hold herself out as a public figure representing domestic abuse. It was false, it was defamatory, and it caused irreparable harm.
What was it like for you watching yourself in court?
What I see is actually somebody that has always believed in her client and a true advocate. I see my expressions to the evidence that's coming forward, and I very much knew the case very, very well. I knew the evidence, and I was advocating at all times for my client.
Was there one key moment when you knew that you'd won the jury over?
I don't think that we could ever be 100% sure, but there were some key moments during the trial. Johnny Depp's testimony, I think, was a key moment when he was finally, after 6 years, able to tell his side of the story.
I felt the responsibility of clearing the record as the only way that I could get to the point where I could speak has really taken this full 6 years. And it's been 6 years of trying times.
For 6 years, what we had were what we say unfounded allegations made by his ex-wife, Amber Heard, against him, and no response, public or otherwise, from Johnny Depp until he filed this lawsuit. And he was able to testify there 6 years later. I also think that her cross-examination, which I had the honor of doing on behalf of Mr. Depp, was a pivotal moment. Being able to confront her with her own words was so important to Mr. Depp and to our overall strategy.